Hi, welcome to training video for new TSB employees or current TSB employees, video 1. We're going to go over I'm going to hit bullet points of basic etiquette for our TSB employees and our staff, as well as the do's and don'ts, the okays and the not okays for being an employee here at Texas Size Bling. Which all of these are very important, by the way. We want a positive work environment. Sometimes that's hard to achieve with a lot of women working together, but we manage to do that and do that well. So we want to make sure or ensure that that keeps on being the case, where we all get along, we help each other, we pitch in when needed, we stay late when needed, we have great attitudes, we have a helpful attitude, and a smiling and a happy spirit. That is what attracts customers, and that's what keeps our reputation intact in the future. So let's get started. Pay schedule. When you are hired at TSB, my thing's falling. Sorry. When you are hired at Texas Size Bling, you get a welcome packet. In that welcome packet, it'll outline the payday schedule, which is twice a month. It's on Fridays, and the dates will actually be outlined in that schedule. I think that would be easier to understand if you refer to that versus me trying to explain it. So next, since we're on the payday scale, be sure you don't discuss your pay with your employees. It's just inappropriate, and we don't like it. So don't do it. Now we go to workplace etiquette. Come into work awake and presentable. We are in retail, so we sell women's clothes, we sell women's accessories. So look appropriate for your job and like you care about your job. Not like you just rolled out of bed, not like you had a rough night the night before, like you're ready to work and you care about your appearance. My rule of thumb was always, or has always been in management, is come to work first date ready. If you'd wear it to a first date with your crush, then it's acceptable. If you wouldn't, then it's not. Next is on the floor. Don't leave your coworkers unattended, meaning don't leave the floor necessarily unattended too, because you might be here at times with just me and I might be up in the office, or if you're with your coworker, be sure you're communicating to each other. If you need to go to the restroom, if you need to run back to talk to Steph in production, whatever it is, don't leave them by themselves on the floor. Respond to text messages. We have a big group text message called Boutique Girls. That's how we communicate with each other on any kind of information that it's imperative for you to know. Hold, please. No, it goes back under the desk. I'm sorry, I left it there this morning. Sorry. I'm also working right now. So respond to text messages in that group text message, either with a thumbs up or if a question's asked or whatever, just so that we know that you received the message. No cell phones or Apple Watches, meaning, of course I wear an Apple Watch, but don't, actually just don't wear one at work. That way there's not an issue with you checking text messages. You're not to be on your phones are not to be visible, they're not to be in your back pocket, they're under the desk when you arrive at work. That way there is no issue with you doing that. Workplace conversations need to be kept appropriate and professional, meaning watch what you say. You never know what listening ears could be around and what they might deem as appropriate or not appropriate. So just be careful with that. And your language, do not use offensive language when you're at work and on the floor. Let's see, if you're sick, please try to get yourself covered prior to your shift. That's your job, not mine. Unless you're really sick, I am willing, of course, to help you. But if you need to miss a shift due to illness, then it is your responsibility to have that shift covered by a coworker. Now, I do not allow shift changes without permission because after the schedule's been posted. And that, I have a huge fear that if I leave that open for you guys to do, that there will be somebody that doesn't show up for work, which is totally not cool. And it'll be on a Saturday. So no. No shift changes are allowed or permitted without permission and without it being an emergency after the schedule has been posted. Period. Guests visiting you at work. You're not your boyfriend, not your mama, not anybody can come and just visit and hang out with you at work. If they're friends of yours that are shopping, then that's totally cool, but you still have to do your job first and foremost. You have to treat all the customers the same, so I shouldn't be able to tell if it is your sister or a complete stranger by the way you treat them, because all should be treated equally and appropriately. They can, let me paraphrase real quick and say that they can bring you food and drop it off, but they just can't hang out. That's not okay. Do not come into work hungover. We do have younger college-age students, and yes, we are happy that you're living your life, but you are all still representing the company and the brand when you are both in store and out of the store in public. So I don't want to get word back that you were behaving inappropriately in a place where other people saw you, and then it gets associated with the business, as that's not cool in any way. Another topic is that I'm supposed to highlight is that we are all women here, and there's a lot of feelings and emotions. I have them too, and I would rather not, but please try to check those feelings and emotions at the door. Don't bring in baggage or anything that's going into your life into work. We are understanding, and I do understand things happen, absolutely, for sure, but try and your best to leave it at the door. Don't take things personally, and if you have issues, address it immediately. That's with each other, that's with me, that's with any kind of management role. Anything you have an issue with, please come to me as soon as it happens, because all it will do if you don't is fester, and it gets worse, and more negativity vibes happen and thoughts, and then the problem becomes bigger than it actually was, and it might not have even been a problem at all had it been handled immediately and appropriately. And I'm all about handling stuff. When the phone rings, please answer it quickly, and remember that Brittany cannot answer the phone, so just do that. What happens if you're in trouble? Meaning, I'm gonna set forth a whole bunch of new rules for the floor and for like your certain job descriptions. I want those to be taken seriously and not like a grain of salt. If everybody's doing what they're supposed to do as their role assigns and outlines, then everything will move effectively and smoothly, and it'll all work better as a whole. However, if you don't, then it's not going to work, and our customer service is not going to improve, and that's why I'm here, is I want to do all of those things. Let's see. As far as if you are in trouble, you get a verbal warning, then you're going to get a written warning, or you may get both. Basically, it's 3 strikes and you're out, and I'm done. I'm done trying to improve you or help you see the error of your ways. And then we'll just part it that way. Texas is I can't remember what the word is, so never mind. I do that a lot. Let's see, attire. You are the face of Texas Size Bling, both at Texas Size Bling, well, especially at Texas Size Bling, and then when you're not here as well. So, only t-shirts. If you wear any graphic t-shirts, they have to be made by us, because ours are the best and the cutest, and they're cheaper since you work here after 3 months. Wear appropriate shoes. No long shirts over shorts where it looks like you're not wearing any. Boutique clothes must look as though they came from here. Granted, I know you're not always going to shop here, but I need them to look like they came from here. Be sure you wear purple on Fridays as for support for SFA. Wear SFA t-shirts on game days, which is every Saturday from like September through October, maybe November, not sure, but I'll let you know in a text, in the boutique text message. Let's see, if your question where something is that they bought somewhere else, or okay, if you are wearing something that a customer comes in and questions where you purchased it, then we do ask you to tell a little white lie that you got it here, and we just sold out of it because it's so cute. I say a lot, I'm sorry. Wear purple on Fridays, SFA on game days, already said that. Jackets must be a TSB jacket. If you don't have one, then we'll get you one and we'll embroider our name on it. Discounts. There are various discounts based on how long you've been here and your rank, like how great you are. Obviously that grows with how good you are. So that's another incentive to be on point. Managers or shift leaders are the only people allowed to ring you up as a customer when you purchase something and use your discount. I'm going to go over the discount situation and how that works in a later video. This is just your bullet points of just, you know, all your need to know stuff. Okay. After you purchase your merchandise, your name is to go on a receipt and put in the folder under your name, and that's how I keep track of everything that's purchased, because I am always watching to see if you're wearing something that we have, and I do go back and look at that because I know employee theft is a thing and I notice everything, so beware. Not that you would do that, but please don't. Guys in the building, we have dudes that work here too, so you can say hello. Most of them are married. John, I love him. Be very sweet to John. He's like my favorite, and he is so sweet. Very nice. Will never be inappropriate. You don't be inappropriate either. Parking. Moving right along. We're on page 2. Okay, parking, if you, that's not right. It's not the right page. Parking, park away from the building. That's what that's gonna say. Park away from the building. Don't take customers' parking spots up close to the building. You park away and you walk. That's just what it is. We like to treat them like they're special because they are. And you're special too, but I need you to walk. That's gonna be it for this video. I'll be back momentarily for video number